Hi guys, welcome back. This is Matt Chat episode 558, featuring a look at a little game called Clair Obscur Expedition 33. Yeah, we're plunging into this dreamlike delirium, the game that dares to ask, what if Salvador Dalí designed a JRPG? There's a lot of people talking about this game. It was all a buzz over at the Matt Chat Discord channel, so I thought I'd check it out, and I'm glad I did. It's got some annoying things about it, at least to me. I'll get into in the video. I think you will find that delightful. But what we're going to try to figure out here is this a masterpiece, or is it just all smoke and mirrors? Well, we'll crack open the canvas and take a closer look. So, got a lot to cover, so without further ado, here is Clair Obscur. Alrighty then, here's the game we'll be looking at here today. Clair Obscur 33. And here's the game we'll be looking at today. Clair Obscur Expedition 33. Yeah, I just recently beat this game. I had a lot of fun with it. I didn't explore everything. I left a few things for maybe a future replay at some point, but man, I had a great time with this. Thought it'd be fun to do a video. I'm not the only one, obviously. It's got overwhelmingly positive reviews, and you know, that's something. And usually I'm a little skeptical of this. You know, I've got certain tastes when it comes to games like this, and they're not the mainstream. So just because it's popular doesn't mean I'm going to like it. Because, you know, I'm snobbish and elitist when it comes to CRPGs. But no, this one really delivers. I've got some nitpicks with it. I'll share those. There's some things that just infuriate me about this game. I'm yelling and screaming and cursing in English. As well as French at some of these mechanics. But overall, it's a really super duper game. And if you like... a good story, good turn-based combat, kind of an unusual setting. The story is convoluted enough to where you might need even to take notes to try to keep track of painters, writers, what's going on. You know, there's almost a bit too many twists and turns, but it's a lot of fun when you do figure out exactly what's going on. It's very satisfying. It doesn't seem random or arbitrary. It's well put together. And I would just say, if you are worried about spoilers, just go ahead and play this game. I would recommend it. You can take my word. It's you won't regret it. You just play it for yourself and experience all the twists and turns on your own. Because I'll probably be unable to keep a few spoilers out of this video. And again, it'd be more fun for you if you don't have any spoilers. But I'll focus mostly on the mechanics and the just stuff of interest to people like us. You know, a lot of this audience, we're kind of interested in the design of a game, the mechanics, the role-playing system, the controls, the UI, you know, all sorts of things of that sort we'll get into. A lot more than we will discuss the story. You know, there's other videos for that. So yeah, let's see what else. Is there anything to say? Do they have the price here? Usually... Yeah, there we go. So this is, it's actually on a promotion right now. That's fortuitous, depending on when you're watching this video. 10% off, $44.99. So I think that'd be money well spent. You could wait for a sale if you want, but probably won't go down that soon. Usually when a game's this good, this well reviewed, it takes a long time before that price will drop. Let's see about this. Stop the autoplay! Jesus Christ! Never autoplay. Never. I wanted to see what you get for these these various bundles here. Well, you get some extra games. I guess that's kind of paying it forward, so to speak. What's this deluxe edition business? You know, one thing that's silly about this game, I thought, is there's a lot of lot of the stuff you do is just for a new costume or a new outfit. You know, how badly do you want to see these characters in a bathing suit? I mean, you could spend hours trying to unlock that content. I don't usually care so much about those. Yeah, see, so you pay extra money. I guess it's $10 basically, and you get a flowers collection. 6 outfits and hairstyles inspired by the flowers of Lumiere, along with additional gomage outfit variations. Oh, there's one for each character. Oh my, got to have it. I've just, this is only $9.89. It should be $90. Any price I would pay for. Wait, what's this? The game contains revealing outfits and light stylistic partial nudity. What, that's disturbing to people? Oh my god, a revealing outfit and light stylistic partial nudity! Ah! Oh, I am so tired of this garbage. Some players may find disturbing. Well, who gives a... You know, somebody's gonna find some flowers disturbing. The hell with those freaks. I'm sorry, there's nothing to be... Okay. I'm getting off on a rant. Let's get into the game before I completely lose it. And I think I'll skip the flowers. Just get straight into the game. Can we make that happen? Okay, we have it going. Well, I hear opera, so I guess we're good. Let's go ahead and look at the new game. You know, I got it. This music probably won't appeal to everybody. You know, some people just are completely lacking in taste, sophistication. But I love this. It's just beautiful. You know, I could just unwind to that music, and you need something kind of relaxing when you're playing this game. Trust me. Save game to new slot. All right. Okay. Yeah, I just played on the... I usually play these on the default difficulty. Maybe that's my problem. Oh my god. Expert? Good God. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend that unless you are on some serious performance-enhancing drugs. The Expeditioner just absolutely kicked my ass. It's this dodge and parry thing that we'll get into that just makes it so hard. I guess if you're if you were born with a controller, freaking USB cord for an umbilical cord, I guess you might do fine with that. And it's always some jackass that's like, oh, it's so easy. You must not be a real gamer. You'd be dodging and parrying with ease. Ah, screw you. It's tough. Let's see. Enemies deal low damage, and I'm looking at the story mode. Well, I like... It always drives me nuts. Like I don't want the monsters to do less damage. I just want the dodge and parry to be easier. You know, why does that have to be connected? Why isn't there an option just to make dodge and parry easier? Hell, maybe even make the monsters tougher to make me feel better about it. But no, you gotta just jump to baby difficulty. So I guess we're just kind of stuck with the dodge. Okay, let's see. Can we get anything else going here? Probably don't need tutorials, but I'll leave it on just in case I forgot to mention something. Character customization and cutscenes. Allows the customization of characters to appear during in-game cinematics. Yeah, I see what they're saying. Yeah, once you got everybody in a bathing suit or some clownish outfit, it kind of ruins the mood, so to speak, when you're looking at some super serious cutscene with gravitas. So you might want to disable that, but I'll leave it on. I'm probably not going to mess around with the outfits this go around. I'll probably skip over a lot of this beginning tutorial stuff anyway. We'll look at a few minutes of it just to give you a sense of the flavor, but I like to talk, and this will involve just listening. Quite a bit of dialogue. It's all good dialogue, though, I got to say that. I never felt like I was just tempted to skip over dialogues. Everything was worth reading or listening to in the case of a voice acting. Sorry. Oh, you got kind of quiet on me. Are you hearing anything? There we go. 34. Yeah, look at these. This artwork in this game is just gorgeous throughout. Even those flowers over there look good. Well arranged. Hey, look at the hair, looks good. These little bushy things. What are those called? Vines? Trellis? There's a pinda, a gondola, or what do they call those things? Pergola? It's so French. Let me grab my croissant. Wine.
They do it before they wither and die.
Look at that outfit.
Or Sophie.
Ooh, dark. Sophie would approve. Hey, you said it, not me. The others are waiting for you. You're supposed to be helping with the festival.
With what? Putting up 3 tables? They'll manage.
You underestimate Lumiere's enthusiasm for the expedition. There's at least 5 tables.
Marvelous.
I feel the need for
Try
cheese.
throwing with your other arm instead. If you could hit the painters directly, that would actually be useful.
You know, hobbies don't always have to be useful. I'm enjoying the uselessness of today and readying my usefulness for tomorrow.
I wonder why they didn't give them French accents.
And soon, I'll get to do a lot more than throw rocks.
It sounds more English than French to me.
That's what all the other expeditions said.
Hey, you know they gave their lives to make the trail.
Yeah, I know. Sorry.
Yeah.
And we'll just look at like the facial expressions and the body movements. I mean, the acting is incredible.
Yes.
You can call it that.
Yes. Just... I'm not sure how to start.
I want that guy's hair.
What do I say to her on the day of her gamache?
You're asking me.
I think that'd be a good look for me. The
Sun's about to set, so be direct. Hey, so
Gustav
been a
look.
while. Could we?
You know, one neat thing about the dialogue too is this is the first. I guess they've probably been doing this for a while. Maybe I haven't noticed, but they actually interrupt each other just like a real movie. So you know, most games, if there's supposed to be an interruption, there's just a gap there. It's not like a real conversation where people are cutting in on each other all the time. But this game actually does it, so you can hear the multiple speakers cutting in, cutting each other off and stuff. It's really well done. And I don't know if that's anything unique to this game. Maybe that's been a thing for several years, and it's just I'm just now catching up. But yeah, just look at the attention to detail on these things. I mean, wow. You know, if you've done any work with Unity or Unreal, I guess, which they use for this, you know, you got to have some talent to put together something like this. I mean, just look at the way they've got these flowers there. It works. I mean, there's an eye, there's an attention. It's like an aesthetic. Yeah, I'm just rambling here. But it looks good. It's pretty. Let's see, is there anything fun to do here at the beginning?
Come on, you're not going to forget your flower here, are you?
Oh yeah, the flowers.
You're not going.
Oh, come on. Is there a flower I'm supposed to pick up, eh? It's not that long of a game, but you go through so much, it feels like it's really epic. So that's another way of saying I've forgotten some of the beginning content.
All right, let's go. I'll accompany you there.
But
Are
what I
you
was,
ready to see her again?
what I'm looking forward to in my second playthrough is that now that I know everything, you know, I know what's really going on to some extent. I wanted to see how much foreshadowing they do and like all the little stuff that didn't make a whole lot of sense before. You know, how well they kind of set you up for a replay. That's always fun when you watch a movie, let's say, with a lot of twists and things like The Sixth Sense. Sixth Sense. You go back and watch it again and you're like looking for all these little clues that they put in. It's so fun. The Sharagran. What is it? Sharagnan. The Okra. Yeah, you can see some of this of these posters on the wall. I wish I could zoom in on that. I guess if you have a good enough eye, you could read that. But if it's your first playthrough, you're like, what the hell? What is happening? A wedding? A funeral? Oh, yeah, you'll find out. But it's so
I
soothing.
set up these grapple shortcuts. Nice, huh?
Yeah, this part scared the hell out of me the first time I saw it. I'm like, oh man, is this going to be like Batman? Or Assassin's Creed? I suck at those games. I love the Batman one, but yeah, that was like replay. Now you could probably get through these, something like Batman or Assassin's Creed, without ever having to reload. But
Sophie already turned 33.
I am just not
So
that
much younger
good.
than
I got the reflexes of a
She's popular.
drunken dwarf.
I'm sure she already has a necklace full of flowers.
Ah,
I can imagine.
looks good. Again, with the attention to detail. I mean, they even have a freaking irrigation system here. Like somebody thought, who's watering the flowers? Well, maybe there's an automated system for that. I don't think that's what they look like in real life, though, is it? No, I think with flowers, you actually run these hoses under and around the roots of the flower, and then you just pour in from the top, and it, sprinkles the water out under the soil. So yeah, this is completely ruined for me now. Now that I realize just how fake. So yeah, you're probably thinking like, what's this freaking slimy stuff? And is this a BioShock situation? Is it a...
What?
You look tense.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah.
Award-winning dialogue.
I know what you need. A little jewel.
You're gonna beat up a little girl. That's what I... That'll relieve the tension.
Come on, it'll loosen you up.
Loosen you
Can't
up.
see Sophie all somber and tense.
Yeah. This reminds me of a certain conversation in...
And if
what
you
was that
win,
movie with the...
I'll give you something you can
Uh,
use with your luminous
Ben Stiller?
glitter.
I can't remember the name of the other guy. It'll come to me.
All right, you're on.
All right, you're on. Okay, here we go.
Yes.
You wish to go through the battle tutorial during your duel. Ah, why not? I beat the game, but I probably missed some basic stuff. Okay, battle wheel. The wheels of the battle keep on turning. During your turn, your character can attack, aim, use a skill, or use an item. Now I'm thinking about it, this game really could have used, like Baldur's Gate 3 has all those, like the charisma-based stuff and the all that, the backgrounds and skills that you can occasionally use in a dialogue. They keep these relatively straightforward. It would have benefited, I think, from a system like that upon reflection, though. Okay, so we're going to be worrying about AP or action points and how to use our skills correctly. And base attacks versus free aim attacks. But the thing that is going to bother you is called parry or dodge, and supposedly dodging is easier than parrying. So if you can barely do the dodge, good luck with the flippin' parry. Okay, so we got 4. I guess we'll have to do it the way they want us to. So we got 4 action points there on the lower right, if you can see that little portrait. But we need to attack anyway for whatever reason. So that's the base attack, and you might very seldom use that depending on how you set your characters up. Enemies usually perform 1 action per turn, unless you've got the cheater picked out. Mayo will now attack. Okay, so this is... Hopefully it'll give me a little heads up about the dodge. Here we go. Dodge! During an enemy attack, dodge at the right time to avoid damage. Yeah, it's just so easy. Just dodge it. When do I dodge? Well, at the right time. Yeah, it's so easy. Maybe there's a visual indicator or an audio cue or something to help me determine that right time. Yeah, sure. Supposedly there's an audio thing. I haven't ever heard it. Dodging at the last moment will trigger a perfect dodge. Yeah. If there was a button, if there was a setting to just automate that, it would be on instantaneously. The character's AP can be used to cast skills. Each character can have up to 6 skills equipped. Try to use a skill, but probably what you're thinking about is, did he use instantaneously correctly? I think he meant instantly. oh, it's not that comment, and it just checks, didn't I? Okay. Get to use our overcharge, Gustav, and it's really worthwhile to really learn Gustav. Really learn all of his attacks and skills and really spend a lot of time on him. Okay, I'm trying to keep a very straight face. Gustav starts with 2 skills. Lumiere Assault and Overcharge. Yeah, that Overcharge comes in quite handy at the Steam store. You can use attacks and skills, Overcharge meter. Oh yeah, I forgot about this. So he's got, every character has these weird mechanics. Well, I guess they're not weird, just different. So let's see. He's got something called Overcharge. So his arm, mechanical arm thing, his prosthetic, his cybernetic. I think they call it something else. What's it say there? Deal more damage with Overcharge. Charge Gustav's arm by dealing damage, dodging, and parrying. Oh, great. Alright. X. Overcharge. High lightning damage based on the amount of charge. So what we want to do is generate the charge, and then we get that maxed out, then we can switch over to this Overcharge, the finishing move, if you will. Okay, Lumiere Assault. Low physical damage, but it hits 5 times. So that's a little clue. So if you got a character with that many hits, you want to maximize stuff that will kick in. It'll take advantage of a lot of small hits. I'll show you what I mean when we get to the leveling. Critical hits generate 1 additional charge. Okay, so if this guy would benefit from anything that's going to boost his crit. Alright, assuming we stick with these default skills. Alright, there's only 1 target, so easy enough. And here comes the QTE. So remember how I like turn-based combat, because you can really just relax and think about the tactics and the strategies. Well, you don't get that. No, to appeal to the Twitch community, which seems to be 99% of gamers, maybe everybody but me, I don't know. Am I the only one that doesn't like this stuff? Okay. So we have to hit the button at just the right time, and I am using a controller. I don't like controllers. I like the mouse. But we got to use controllers for this. At least if you this thing vibrates, it's really cool. It's like, it's vibrating. Ah! Achieve perfection timing to unleash even stronger effects. Okay, so the little thingy's gonna twirl around, and we gotta try to hit it when it's in that yellow bar. And believe me, it took me like 10 battles before I realized what was going on here. So it goes quick! So I won't be able to talk, I have to focus. Alright. Oh, got it. See that? Perfect. Perfect! Oh, oh, it stopped it. Okay. So parry is like a dodge, but it's extremely difficult, and you will have to do it. Some of the battles are only winnable if you do this parry business. So you have to deal with it one way or the other. And now if you could do it correctly, which are basically it's an all or nothing deal with this. So where it says perfect dodge, that's like a way to train yourself. So if you dodge and you get the timing figured out, it'll say perfect dodge. And then when you feel pretty comfortable you're getting perfect dodges every time, then you could risk a parry maneuver. But it has to be, it's tiny little window, and there's no freaking clue when that is. You just have to kind of, it's almost like muscle memory. Okay, parrying recovers. So it's good. If you can parry, good for you. You're going to rock this game. Oh. It's doing it for me, so it just makes it look like I'm doing it. Every hit of an enemy attack. Parrying every hit of an enemy attack triggers a powerful counter. So that's really cool. And again, some of the monsters, that's the only way to do damage to them, is just counter attack. Because they'll just attack, attack, attack. You never get to attack yourself. So if you have to learn how to do this. It's going to be a constant pain, but apparently some people find it easy. Okay, it's easy in the tutorial. Now we can use that overcharge. So okay, I got 10 out of 10 on this, so that'll be a lot of extra damage. High lightning damage based on the amount of charge. And it only hits once, but it can break. I wonder if they're going to tell us about the breaks.
For those who come up.
Okay, boom. Boom! Poor little girl. Shocking. Shocking. Highest damage 578. So there's a weird mechanic in this game where they will lock you out of damage. You're like capped at 9999 until you later in the game you get a picto and then you can do more than that. But
I see your smile.
we don't have to worry about that for quite a while.
All right, now let's go find Sophie.
Oh.
I saw her near the red and white tree.
Are they going to tell us about the? They're not going to tell us about the Lumina. I think that might be a while before we get
Why
to that.
people like to celebrate the gommage is still a mystery to me, but oh well.
Yeah, see, like little comments like that, right over the old head until you're playing it on the second time. Then you're like, oh, I get it. I know why she said that. I feel
Red and white tree.
so
I
smart.
always found it beautiful.
Intellectual.
I don't really.
Gotta go onto the Sorbonne.
You and Sophie broke up so long ago. But
Could have been a
clearly
dawn.
you never got over her. Why
You
do
guys
wait
like the
until
Pet Shop
today to say
Boys?
something?
I don't know.
It's a bit late.
Why am I thinking about the Pet Shop Boys? Do we have to talk to her again?
Sophie's down there.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, Sophie. I think I might skip ahead here in a minute. 'Cause I don't want to spoil all this stuff. Press X to interact with your rope. That's a rope? Yeah, so. We're not a budget. Couldn't get a real rope. Nah. It's a magic rope. It's not magic. It's whatever painter magic, I guess.
The last few days meant everything.
What's that movie, Amelie? I got that right? The one, the character that looks like her? It's a great movie.
Good stuff.
I imagine there's a lot of people that name their daughters Amelie after seeing that. I wonder if there'd be a lot of Gustavs. Just call me Gus.
that's for your, if there's room.
I'm not going to keep complimenting the acting in this, but it's good. Oh, I forgot about this. Ah. I think I'll have to skip a bit here because I don't want to spoil what's going to happen with this gommage because that's really fun. Yeah, I'll put it that way. I don't want to spoil it by saying anything else, but yeah, I think I'll just stop it. Let's look at my reload here. And instead of carrying on, wait, load previous. These just the ones for now. Yeah, I think we got to go all the way back to the title screen. There's no really convenient way to save the game. You don't have all these save slots. Yeah, 47 hours. We'll see where I'm at. I think I can get back to the map. Because I want to show you some of the... Yeah, let's get out of here. Just go back to the world map. Ooh, what's this option? New Game Plus. What's that? What's a New Game Plus? I don't know what New Game Plus is. It's like a new game, but extra. Oh, there's so much to this game. Okay. Let's see, I think I can mount my... Well, before we do that, let's take a look at the and some of the level progression stuff. Yeah, I got my full crew here. There might be another character you can recruit. I'm not sure about that. These are certainly all the main ones at this point of the game, and this is at the end. So we got Shield, Lune, Verso, Male, and Monaco. I'll just open this up so you can see what we're dealing with. Okay, so there's some mechanics that, as far as I can tell, are unique to this game. There's similar systems in other games. It seems like this game was inspired a lot by JRPGs, which I'm very much a noob. I'm a CRPG man, not a JRPG man. So, if there's something, if this is like Final Fantasy stuff or whatever, I'm going to miss that. I'm just telling you, it took me a while to learn how to do all this. Okay, so let's start with these skills. So you can only have 6 skills activated. You can have a lot more available to you, and you can swap these out pretty easily. I don't know if you could do it in the middle of a battle. I don't think so. But if you want to swap something out because maybe you're in a place where there's lots of groups instead of bosses, there's certain skills that work better for that. A lot of this will say targets the whole group. So you can swap some of these skills around is what I'm saying to optimize for your area. Likewise, if you maybe you have an enemy that doesn't take burn damage, you might actually heal them by doing flame damage or fire damage. So you could swap some of these out as you see fit. This guy is kind of neat. So he goes through these, I think they call them stages of perfection. I forget, or levels. I forget what they call it, but basically you do some attacks, and if you do enough attacks, then you get bumped up to like C, and then B, and then S, and then you're really starting to do some great damage. So you got kind of a slow wind up. So the quicker you can get to that S, the better. But then there's certain skills that only apply to certain levels, like the C, the S. So again, you have to kind of consider how you build the character. If you got a build that lets you get up to S really quick, then you might just skip over some of this stuff and just focus on the ones that give you the benefits for S. Because if you are at S and you try to use one with a C, you don't get that benefit. Like this says C increased damage. So if you're in any level but C, you won't get that. Okay, but you can see the skill tree. I don't have it completely filled out. Apparently, if you keep playing and you do everything, you can get all the stuff. So I like that, so you don't have to worry too much if you get a bad skill that you don't end up using. It's not that big of a deal. You can pick it up later. And also, it's easy to just reset everything. It's not infinite, but they give you enough of these, I think they call them recolors. So you can reset your talents and your attributes and stuff without having to, again, stress out too much. You can experiment with it probably as much as you would want to. Okay, is there anything else I wanted to show you there? Okay, and then we have weapon. Now, one thing that's kind of disappointing to me is that you really don't get a lot of items. You don't have, like, armor. All you have is basically cosmetics for outfits. Yeah, you can make his clothes look different, but these have no... Oh, my God. Is there any stereotype they didn't play into here? Well, then again, I guess if you're going to... I guess they're like, well, we really want to be as French as possible. So you can pick different hairstyles, but again, not gonna... Oh, that's kind of cool. Not gonna make any difference. So I don't know what the decision was there. You know, why not give you a piece of armor that gives you better defense or something? But all right. I guess they want you focused like a laser on your weapons. Now this is where things get weird. So the choice of weapon affects your choice, or should affect, I guess, your choice of attributes, as well as skills. So it's kind of like a, which one do you want to prioritize? The cart before the horse, that sort of situation. Like what's going to rule what? I guess if you start with a weapon, maybe you find a weapon that you really like. Now, if you look for guides online, they say to focus on the attributes first. So like each character will have, you can optimize for a certain build. I'm getting kind of ahead of myself here, but over there on the right side, you see where it says combat stats. You see those attributes there, basically stats in another game. So we got vitality, mind, agility, defense, and luck. So one way to think about it would be, I really wanted this character to be a tank, be able to take a lot of damage. So I'm going to set him up with maybe vitality or defense, and then something else. So then you look for a corresponding weapon that has those bonuses on it. Or you might do the opposite and say, I really like the sound of this weapon. I want those bonuses. So then you optimize your attributes based on your weapon choice. So I hope I'm making sense. And you only got so many ways you upgrade the weapons as you go along. You have to get these little items, little resources, and you can upgrade a weapon. You can get the early ones are no big deal. Just you can swap weapons, don't worry about it. But once you get up to level 20, then it becomes finite. So then you really can't just upgrade every weapon. You really want to be thinking about sticking to one or maybe two that you really like, and then see if you can get those up to max. So like this weapon here, Corpeso, you see we got element fire. So that's going to be good because I've got a lot of this party's built up around fire. So a lot of other people get bonuses if things are burning. So I kind of like that. The vitality and agility, you see that these have letters that go with them too. So I never found an S weapon. I guess they probably exist, or maybe you could upgrade enough to get to that. But this one's got A and B, so it's going to give my agility a big bonus, and vitality a bonus. I think that's how this works. Hoping I'm giving you misinformation, but they synergize. So the more vitality and agility I have, the more effective this weapon's going to be. But the weapon also helps me to get up the snuff in those attributes. So I found that just sticking to 2 attributes, maybe a few points into a third one, worked pretty well. That seemed to work better for me than trying to put points into everything, including stuff I wasn't getting a bonus in. But if you really struggle with dodge and parry, you might want to put points in vitality or defense, even if you don't get bonuses, just so you don't keep getting one-shotted, because that can be very frustrating. Okay, yeah, so this guy, with this weapon, base attack applies 2 burn stack per rank, so that's just that default attack, which also gives you action points, so you use that occasionally. On this guy, I try to use it a lot. Plus 1 AP on rank up, so they'll give him another action point every time he hits those ranks we were talking about. And increase burn damage by 50% per rank up to 300% on rank S. So the fact that he's got that burn weapon here is going to help him. Let's see what the skills are here. You know, I don't know if we have skills for him that make people burn. Yeah, he's light damage. So maybe the only source of fire attacks is the weapon. Yeah, okay. Alright, so does that make sense so far? Now we can talk about the pictos. So you find these as you go along and they upgrade. I don't think there's a way to manually upgrade these like the weapons. You just have to find better ones and then they'll level up. And what happens, they have... see if I can find one he's got equipped here. Okay. Yeah. Let me go back to this. So the ones in the middle are the ones I have equipped. And you can equip up to 3. And you can equip any 3 you like. It's probably better if you equip the ones that take a lot of Lumina points, because those are limited, and these are basically free. I'll explain what I mean by that when we get to the Luminas. But you see here, full strength, gradient fighter, breaking attack. So these all have various kinds of bonuses. So 25% increased damage on full health. So if I can keep from getting hit, that's a pretty good one. So that's a nice perk. But it also gives me 876 health and 373 defense. So kind of a way to recoup some of the losses, I guess, from specializing so much in... well, this guy's okay because he's got vitality. But maybe you got a character that doesn't have any health bonuses. So you might pick a Picto just to kind of help out with that. Or again, you might be just thinking about maximizing. So maybe you really want crit up as close to 100 as you can possibly get. So you take everything with crit speed. The speed is kind of confusing to me. Maybe we can get an explanation here. What I kept reading online was that speed helps you with initiative and gives you more attacks. I don't know quite what how the math works out on that. But apparently that's the thing. Okay, so let's say you pick your 3, pick those that you like, and then over here you have what are called luminas, and this took me forever to figure out what the hell they're talking about. Okay, so let's say you get a Picto on, you battle with the Picto, I think it's 4 matches, and then that perk, not the stats, but the perk that Picto offers can be applied to any character in the party. So that's a really cool way to customize. These mechanics are interesting. Yeah, so you're thinking, okay, I put the Picto on that guy. Now I've got the ability available to other characters within points. So like, yeah, you see like the 20 points, the 30 points. So this one, effective heal. So it doubles all the heals you receive. So that's a pretty powerful sounding one, but you could see it takes 30 Lumina. So then I'd have to go in here and turn off all this other stuff. Look at cheater. Always play twice in a row. Yeah, I'm not having that. So I gotta have 40 points for that, but maybe you could swap around some of this other stuff. You know, now that I'm looking at this double burn. So every time he applies a burn stack, he applies a second one. So that basically double him up. And burn is kind of his build, so that'd make a lot of sense to have that, but it's 30 whole points, so you'd be losing a lot of other stuff. Now the good news is, though, you can increase the amount of Lumina pretty easily. And basically, when you fight things, sometimes you'll pick up these little extra Lumina. So I don't know if that's infinite or not, but you can certainly get those fairly easily. Okay, is that everything I need to explain at this point? Well, I guess as long as we're looking at this page. So you can only have 3 people in your party. But again, they make it easy to bring people in and out. So even in the middle of a dungeon, whatever, you can just open up this screen, pull them out, put them back in. Alright, so let's mount up. Now this guy can fly. That's a little bit of a spoiler, I suppose, but you kind of can probably guess that that's coming eventually. Let's see if we can do one I haven't done before. Looks like I haven't been to that thing, whatever that is. So let's, looks like it's to the northwest. And don't get too attached to that compass, because by God, I really need a compass, because my sense of direction is horrible. But it shuts off in the dungeons. Oh, look at this. I haven't been up here. Ooh. Danger. That probably means I get my butt kicked. So I don't want to show you me getting my butt kicked. I might come back to that. Let's see. What was that? Oh, it's to the south.
Here we go.
They're not kidding around with that. Danger. What's this? Little fight? Oh, we can do this one. This will be a good, how land? Okay. I love this guy. Okay, let's do a fight for real. We'll see if I can dodge worth the crap. Oh, this is an aberration. These are tough. Okay, I think that's just a little buff. Oh, no, here comes a combo. Okay, so... Oh! Nope, nope! And nope, I didn't dodge a single time. So magically, somehow, I'm supposed to know when to dodge. Okay, so of course my healer is the one that's down, so I'll have to try to bring her back. I got a potion I can do that with. Let's see, items. Revive tent. But what you can do is, it's easy to reload a battle. You know, probably saved it right before this. And I could just keep reloading and studying the animation on that thing until I can figure out precisely where to dodge. So it's not anything to get too upset about. It's annoying. You know, why they couldn't have a freaking little thing that pops up and like they do with the attacks, the quick times, that shows you where you should be dodging and parrying. It's the most obvious thing in the world they need to add to this game. I hope there's a mod at some point that does that, because it just freaking sucks. I don't get having to just die to try to figure out where those points are, where you're supposed to dodge and parry. Okay, but enough complaining. So I'm going to go ahead and put a shell up on my folks here. Because I'm going to get hit a lot, I'm sure. Yeah, here it is. It's already attacking again. That little weird symbol that pops up there. Okay. Yeah, this is starting to piss me off. Okay, I don't know what happened there, but when it goes gray like that, I'm supposed to be able to do my gradient counter, which is the right trigger. Sometimes it just doesn't work. I don't know what the deal is. But the little hash mark things means I'm supposed to jump, and they're a little bit more forgiving with that. So I think that's, you know, I hate to just start tearing into the game already. But they just really, in my opinion, just messed up bad with this dodge and parry mechanic. I guess that's fun for some people, but to me it just almost ruins the game. It's so hard to do, and it's so arbitrary. And like I say, as far as I can tell, the only way to really learn how to do it is just by dying a whole bunch of times and reloading until you get the timings down exactly. Okay, let's try it again. Yeah, I spent more time screaming at this game at the top of my lungs because some of these battles are really long and hard, and you're dodging, you're parrying, and everything is right, and then just suddenly it doesn't work. Just you press the button, it just doesn't frickin' work. I don't care what anybody says. It just fails sometimes, and you die, and you have to redo the whole thing again. That's enough to drive anybody insane. Okay, I'm gonna fake a save here because I don't want to have to roll back. So what you can do is kind of a cheat is just change a hairstyle or something. And then you see it saves it saves it down there, so that way I won't have to keep coming back. Okay, let's try it again. This time I'll really focus hard and see if that makes any difference. Okay. I probably should have picked an easier fight to try to demonstrate this. Why do I only have one person? Why do I... okay. Why do I... Oh my god. Well, I guess I can... It didn't work again! It is the right trigger. Man alive, I can't believe... I beat this game and it's still just pissing me off! Oh! Is this fun? I mean, does anybody think that's fun? Okay. Let's try to figure out what happened to my party, for God's... Did I turn them off? Okay, let's... That should be good. The Monaco guy's got a shield he can put on. Maybe we can survive it that way. Oh, there we go. Okay. I probably should have put Mael in the party because she's a lot tougher. Does more damage. Okay. Makes himself powerful. Good. Performs a light combo. Alright, so... Nope! Oh! Oh, she's dead already. God damn, this guy hits hard.
Bring it on.
Oh. Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm gonna get away from this battle. This is... You're gonna see me dropping F-bombs here in a minute if I try this again. I'll tell you what, let's do it one more time just so you have the satisfaction of seeing my sorry butt get kicked. Well, at least this time we can bring in the... Let's bring in the A-team. Okay. If I could just get Monaco to go, I could put a shell up. And it's supposed to let me play first, so again, I don't know what's going on with that. Bump. 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 And bump. Oh, and of course he's got more. What the? Ah! How many attacks does this bastard have? Jesus Christ. Oh my God.
A bit of violence, yes.
Man, is it worth it? What do I get? Probably only get a stupid wardrobe change. Even if I somehow manage to survive this crap. Alright, I'll give it my level best. But this is just insane. Let's see, I could try to regenerate. If he's just going to be taking out 2 or 3 of my characters every turn, I don't know how the hell we do this. Alright, slashes. He's going to... did I not jump? Okay, let's see if we can bring her back. Oh, I brought the wrong one back. Of course I did. Ah, man. You think a game is hard? Try recording yourself playing it. Okay. So she's got a lot of points. Let's see if we can get a burn going. Yeah, so you see she's doing more than 9,999 points of damage, but this doesn't matter.
Ready to parry.
Earthquakes, great. Alright. There, got it that time. Yeah, it's like you always have to wait just a certain amount of time. Okay, make sure I'm revising the right one. Which one is which?
Okay.
Why is she? Oh, she's got 2 burn. It's doing that kind of damage. Come on. Jeez, I guess I better heal myself. Healing tent. I guess he'll get another turn. Here we go. So this has got like 7 attacks. Oh, this is impossible. Jesus Christ. Let's do an easier battle just so I can show you. The whole game is not like this. Let me show you something easier. Maybe we'll come back to this bastard. But you can see why this game is so infuriating. I mean, I'd have to sit there and reload that and reload that. Some of these battles took me, God, I don't know, 10, 20 tries until you just get it absolutely perfection. Everything timed perfectly, you know, every one of their stupid moves. And even then, it's challenging. Alright, I need to boost my confidence with an easy fight. Yes, we need something I can actually have a chance of winning. Alright, let's try these guys. Oh man, I think I forgot to bring my party back. Oh, this is just not my video. Let's see if I could just do it with one dude. Okay. So he gets some bonuses for his free aim. So you can use your action points just to shoot a gun, basically, and that ratchets up his perfection rank. So you see, he's already rank C, and I got some abilities to go with rank C. One that gives me more action points. Well, let's just go ahead and attack regular. And I need to explain this breaking concept as well. So he gets 2 of those. And you see he gave me a lot of action points because I attacked. Okay, so let's see if I can zoom in on this guy, maybe. Yeah. So you see that little bar underneath the health bar? Little gold bar? That took me a long time to notice that thing, but it's really good to know. So what? Again, it's complicated, but if you fill that bar up all the way, it'll get a little star next to it. And then you'll have certain abilities that say that they can break. Yeah, like that phantom stars down there, lower left corner. One of the things on it is can break star. So once you get that breaking bar filled up and you activate that ability, it will break him, which basically means he's stunned, and you get at least 1 round where you could just wail on him without being counterattacked. May not sound all that important, but when you get into some of these real tough fights where you only have a certain number of rounds and things of that sort, again, game changer. Okay, I could just use my base attack, but let's just try this for fun. I missed it. Yeah, because it's not hard enough to hit that timer, but the different abilities will have different ways to set up those timers. And sometimes it doesn't do any damage if you don't time it right. Oh, he dodged, I see. Yeah, sometimes some of those risky spells you can get, if you don't hit those quick time events right, it'll actually damage you. Imagine how fun that is when that happens. Should be able to strike storm this little bastard. There, we got it that time. Well, see, I'm not that bad. Alright, let's bring back Lune. You know, usually I only save Monaco for like the really tough fights, because his you know, I've never found anything in a crate. It's just habit. But he's got a really cool ability. Just open him up. So instead of a skill tree like the other characters have, he collects feet from enemies. And when he gets their feet, he gets their skill. So I got a couple missing here. I'm not sure what these are. But he's a really versatile character. A lot of fun. But one of the things he's got is called a shield. And that, again, is something that will... Yeah, let's do this little fight here. I can show you what that's about. Okay. No! Ah! Get away. Okay, so this right button, if you run up to him and hit that, then you get first attack. In theory, at least. We'll see if it works. Again, sometimes stuff just doesn't work, and I don't know if it's a glitch or if it's something I'm missing. Alright, so you got a choice to make here. We could do the free aim and hit their little weak spots. Or we could just cast a spell. So I got a spell called Hell! Yeah, like hell. Oh, this is so complicated here. So on the right, instead of the charge or overcharge or levels, or what do they call it, perfection, she's got stains. Yeah, she doesn't use a lot of Clorox, I guess. But so every time she casts a skill, casts a spell, she generates these little balls that pop up on the right. And they come in different colors. There's light ones, there's earth ones, there's fire ones, etc. And then, if you can get it lined up correctly, then the spells will do even more damage. They'll suck up the stains that are in that thing over there and do some additional damage. There's ways you can sort of manufacture it. There's actually a pretty cool weapon you can get for her that generates a stain every time you hit with your gun. And that you can luck out more times than you would think with that. Or there's some spells you can cast that specifically fill up that bar with different colors. I wasn't ever smart enough to figure it out. I didn't have to because it does enough damage as it is. But if you really want to min-max things, well, I'll tell you what, I'll show you what I'm talking about. So you see that first thing up there, Elemental Trick. Low ice, fire, and lightning earth damage. So if she can crit with one of those or more of those, she'll get the corresponding stains. So let's try it out. Let's hit this guy. Oh, gee, of course I'd have to pick one that dodged. So I only hit once critical, I guess. Maybe twice, I don't know. Wasn't paying attention. But now I got that yellow and the blue. I don't think that's really going to help me here. So let's just send him to hell. Whoa! Ah, one shot wonder. You see why I love Luna? You don't even really need to bother with the stains. I mean, you're just gonna kick their butt. You know, you talk about combat imbalance in this game. You know, once you get pretty powerful in this, it's like 9 out of 10 battles is like that. They don't even get to play. You just wipe everybody out before they even get to attack. And then you go up against another monster and he just absolutely frickin' slays your party. You know, I kind of like a game where once you're powerful, you're powerful. not oh, I'm like a god 1 minute and suddenly I get my ass kicked. Let's see. There's a way to... Yeah, there we go. I got a little secret technique to get me in there.
Oh, wow.
Okay, yeah, this would be a good spot to talk about this. So you can go to camp anytime you're on the main map. And I'll show you how you can level up these characters.
Who's going to upgrade our picto?
They put a record player in here for some reason.
Now.
I can do it.
Oh, you can. So I guess you want a little music as you're leveling up your character. Okay, we can upgrade our attributes here. And you get these all the time, so it's nothing to get too excited about. But you get a few points, and every little bit matters, right? I think they go all the way up to level 100, right? On your levels in this game. I never maxed it out, obviously. But we should have a couple skill points as well. Now you have to have, at this point, I'm going to need a lot of points to do anything fun. Oh, look at this. He finally got his steeled strike. After one turn, deals extreme single target physical damage, 13 hits. Interrupted if any damage taken. Oh, what a catch. So if you're in a battle that's going to last 2 rounds and you're on S, that's like the ultimate finishing move. Let's see if anybody else has enough points to do anything fun. Not really. So here we have that choice to make, right? Oops, wrong person. So I'd have to get rid of one of these to swap out that other thing. That's actually, the perfect recovery is more useful than it looks. It gives you some health anyway. And it dispels burning or any kind of effect you might have on you. And if you're in C mode, it completely heals you. So that's a good one to have. I think I might trade this Ascending Assault for the Steeled Strike. Yeah, let's try that. I'd like to see if I can get that Steeled Strike to work. Okay, and then I'll see if we can upgrade any Luminas. So you saw I found a couple of these Luminas already. So I got 4 points I could put into somebody. We'd have to look and see if that would make any difference. Sometimes I just let a bunch of them collect before I mess with it. What you can do, you can get in here and see. Okay, what if I had 4 more on this guy? Would it make... Is there anything I'm just dying to have that's within range? I'm not going to do it here. When I'm playing the game for real, I'll spend like an hour just looking at that. And then we might be able to upgrade a weapon. Yeah, you see what I mean about the finite resources? So I could upgrade these lower ones all I want. I got plenty of points to upload that, but once you get to level 20, it gets really hard to find the stuff you need to level it up. Anything else I need to do? They say you should always talk to everybody every time.
Yeah, I can.
It's not.
Now it's per.
Oh, I can spend some time with Xiao. So you might want to look away. If you're worried about spoilers. I don't know if I've seen this for myself,
I'm going for a swim
actually.
with Esquier. Care to join?
Did Esquier put you up to this?
Yeah, I hope nobody's offended that she's in a swimming suit. But I had to I didn't even know what the reward was for one of these stupid gestural things I did, volleyball. It took me basically about 3 hours, pretty much all day, to get the volleyball thing beat. And the only reward was that swimming suit. So I'm like, she's wearing a swimming suit. not trying to be a perv or whatever, but when you work that hard for something, you're like, no, you're wearing it.
You did say you're a terrible swimmer.
I mean, there's a lot of swimming in the game. It kind of makes sense.
Esquier.
Well, you always seem uneasy when we travel over water.
Should learn how to swim. So here's some of the dialogue choices. So it's usually like this. They don't give you like 15 options. It's not as convoluted and complicated as something like Baldur's Gate, where you have all these different alignments to worry about.
That way, if you
I
fall
don't even
into
know
it,
if it
I don't
really
have to ruin my clothes.
makes a
How
difference.
very gallant.
I'm a team player.
Your hypothetical
I mean, obviously, it
situations
leads to
are
different
specific.
dialogue results,
It
but
is.
Okay.
I don't know if it, like, somewhere down the road has an effect, or if it'll, if it will, yeah. I guess she doesn't realize she's wearing a swimming suit. Oh, they're actually going to
For
show
the
the swim.
record, I
Oh,
do
he-
know how to swim. I mean, I grew up on an island.
How does he have a swimming suit? And how did she get that swimming suit? I had to work for the other one.
It's just I have an aversion to swimming.
Okay.
Oh, I can help you with that.
Yeah, I'm going to swim with my sunglasses and beret on. This is why they were saying you might want to turn the custom outfits off for your cinematics. I had an aversion to mushrooms, but I got over it.
I had an aversion to Minoko, but I got
Yeah,
over it.
Minoka.
Oh, do share your secrets then.
Exposure. Avoiding just makes it worse.
I think they do a great job with the character development in this game.
Oh, I tied myself to Minoko for a month, and we spent every minute of the day together. Well, Noko tied us together. But
I mean, it's not going to float everybody's
now we're
boat,
best
but
friends.
I enjoyed it.
This is your idea of an inspirational story.
I was also the swim captain at school.
Is that supposed to be impressive? That you swam with other kids 100 years ago?
I'm still a good swimmer now. It's not something you forget. Come on.
It's about fear. It's about control.
It's about control. We need to help you feel in control of the situation. Give you time and space to react and not panic.
All right then.
This is his girlfriend, by the way.
Wise and skillful swim
Even though
captain.
she's going to dump him for her husband. I think I have that straight. I don't know.
What?
Just sit here in the water for a little bit. Then, when you're comfortable, we'll go a bit deeper. Then a bit deeper still.
Oh.
Until we get to the trees on the island there.
Oh, so I thought he was talking about something else. She panics. Verso helps her get over her fear. After a little while, she manages to swim.
Did it? I can't believe that worked. Thank you.
And you doubted me.
You are indeed an excellent swimmer and teacher.
Now, let's see you swim back.
The old swimming instruction routine.
No inspirational pep
Didn't
talk?
Magnum PI used to use that all the time?
So you admit it was inspirational.
What was Magnum PI? The name of that actor. I can't believe I'm blanking on that. Oh, come on,
was
Magnum PI.
Something.
It's like I can see his face on that commercial. Hello, I'm. Oh, it's killing me. What's that guy's name? We can't have this. Cannot have this. Magnum PI. Actor name. Come on, come on. Tom Selleck! Ah!
Actually, are you feeling adventurous?
You sat there and watched me look that up too.
How about we stay here a little longer?
Maybe I'll even take my sunglasses off. You know, I just personal preferences, I guess, but I don't know if I could date a woman with all those neck tattoos. I'd be intimidated by that.
What's wrong?
I'm afraid things are different now.
Uh-oh. What?
Mayel can bring Pierre back.
Oh!
Sorry.
Blocked by resurrected hubby.
No,
I hate it when that happens.
I understand.
I did censor
do
myself.
think we should
I'm
spend
proud
the
of
night.
myself.
You do.
Our time together was special to me.
Oh,
Let's celebrate it.
you're a little
one last
exception.
time.
Pierre will understand. Okay.
Let's
How
celebrate.
You can show me.
You know, this
your
game hasn't gotten
plans.
X-rated before. It'll just blink to the next day or whatever. Oh, look at that. You can show me your other swim moves.
You do have excellent technique.
Oh! fun or what? Stay on the island. Spend one final night together. It's truly passionate. We'll leave that out of this hotel here. Oh, something unforgettable. You know, that's kind of ambiguous. I've had nights of passion where the thing that was unforgettable, I wish I could forget. Relationship level increased to level 6. 6. They spend hours on the island. They're exhausted. Jesus Christ. What did they do? Oh, it got me a new music record. You know, sometimes it gives you new... oh, got new... oh, look at that. Oh, new outfits. Ah, let's get those on. He needs to wear a swimming suit. What are you doing? It's a beach party. It's like beach blanket bingo. French style. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I never was able to find swimming suits for them. Did I get another swimming suit for her? She's already got one. Oh. Huh. I don't know. Would you think less of me? Short curly. Nah. Yeah. You know, I kind of like that look on her, really. Yeah, I don't like those. It looks like a troll doll. I mean, look how silly you can make somebody look. I mean, what is that? I mean, would you be seen? Would you be seen with that? Could you take pure swimsuit too? Oh, she's got 2 swimming suits too. Wait, does everybody have a swimming suit now? No. Okay, I can't deal with that. Half ponytail, messy bun. I like that artist look. I like the voluminous too. I mean, I just really always like that kind of hair. I mean, what is this game doing to me? Get out of here! Who cares? It's just cosmetics. Jesus, I lost the plot there for a minute. Now let's get out of here. I could talk to other people and get some more abilities probably, but how long have I been recording? About an hour. That's pretty good. Let's see if there's any other trouble we can get into here, and then we'll... should give you a pretty good taste of what the game is like. I'm not sure what this is. I guess I could show you a dungeon. Maybe one that's not going to just result in instant death. Yeah, look how beautiful this is. Yeah, a lot of these dungeons are just... you get lost in them, but it's okay because you can just admire the scenery. So I got it set up now. You couldn't do this originally, but when you get a little bit further in the game, you can just always go back to the continent, go back and camp, upgrade your weapons, and then just zip right back. There's usually an option here to fast travel. I don't know where it is now. It seems to have disappeared. Oh, what is this guy? Well, I think I was here before. Yeah, aren't you going to see your mistress? But, wait, I see, not Mistress Regent. Mistress paints us, tends us, she watches there, sky. Yeah, I could attack, but... this wasn't a very good dungeon to show you because it's really nothing but that dude. Let's see if I... did I get turned around already? Man, I tell you, you don't realize the value of a flippin' compass. Not to mention a mini-map. You will never take a mini-map for granted again. Because they decided we didn't need one. I don't know if that's by design or just because they got lazy. But goodness, I get lost easy. They give you a nice map and compass on the when you're going around the main world. But I guess they thought you didn't need one in the dungeons. Alright, what else do we want to see? I could do another... Oh, there's a vendor. See if he's got anything. Find a missing expeditioner. So this makes me think there's a whole other expeditioner I don't have. Ooh, what's this? You know that when I played this, I just, as soon as I got to this point, I just finished the game. I didn't fly around. But really, this game kind of captures that magic of Might and Magic 6. You remember how you're having to look at stuff far off and wishing you could go there, and then like at some point you get that fly spell, and you're just like, "Rah!" Or like World of Warcraft, first time you get a flying mount, then suddenly you can access all these little areas. And the developers did a great job hiding stuff. So it's always fun to just really look around, and you might find a little hidden nook somewhere with some Lumina. Yeah, let's do a little fight here. I like to do it so that I get the free attack. Here we go. I wonder if I can dodge these guys. Let's see if I can just one-shot everybody. Yeah.
Feel the embrace of fire.
Look at that. So yeah, you get used to that. You know, zero effort. And you start thinking you're all bad. And then you quickly learn that you suck. Can I go in there? I don't know if I've been... This whole business with this manor, I won't get into because it kind of be spoilery. But every now and then you'll find a way in here and you can unlock some more content. I think I've already unlocked this. First time you come in here, you're just like, what is this place? Can't really do anything. Why is this even in the game? And you'll spend like a lot of time trying to figure out what's going on, when really it's just you gradually unlock it. There are a few little puzzles in here. Geez, am I lost already? Yeah, like, see, you can go through there. There's probably all sorts of stuff I've missed. But I found, I really liked it when you come here, because it's usually like after you've been fighting and you're really shook up and you're anxious, you know, and you come back to the manor for a while, just look around for hidden stuff. Music's fun. You know, it's just a... They do a good job of balancing the real stressful parts of the game with really relaxing stuff. Okay, what else do we... Oh, look at that thing. Ooh, what's this? Like a whale. What? What are you... Esky? Giant fart bag? What's up with this What is that? Oh. Look at that. Huh. Whale. Somehow even... The Flying Casino. Okay. I haven't been here before. This will be fun. Yeah, they're right. There's a ton of the stuff that even after you complete the game, you come and check out. Oh, I wonder if I have to fight that or gamble with it. A lot of these challenges are tougher than the combat. Well, what am I missing here? What is feeding rabbits? Oh, I gotta talk to this guy maybe. Hello? Oh, did I miss something? Yeah.
Is that a casino?
Where are you looking? looking. Is that a casino? Oh. Oh, look at this guy. There we go. I don't think that's what he said, but okay. I ended up here after the fracture and couldn't get back down, so it's my whole world. Do you want help getting back down? We watch over things to the left. Listen to that music. Play some games. This is probably all leading up to a new wardrobe. Yeah, it's got lyrics. Listen to this. Turn up my volume a little bit. I like that. It's got some of the best music of any game I've ever played. It really is that good. I mean, you have to like this kind of music, I suppose. But I really thought it's good, and it's different than what you get for most games. You know, it's not that typical epic fantasy kind of music. Could you peasants please cease that infernal shouting? Uncultured humans. I don't know what that's about. Do I need to be this guy maybe? Yeah, see, since I chose this guy to be the speaker, he's given me different options. I am a lone intellectual, cast aside by my people, whose constant obsession with conflict drove me away. Isn't that the old gestural casino? Indeed it is. Illusion of past happiness. You should wear something. Here, try these on. Oh, I got some new clothes! Now you look like our true gentleman. Thank you. Why would I want to call him swine for giving me clothes? I don't think I got a wardrobe for him yet. Oh. Ha! That looks... That's cool. Yeah, it's just cosmetic, but you know. Oh, look, we got some more.
Well, that
a new record. A music record. So this is what keeps happening to me. So I do something, get turned around. And my God, if I can figure out where I'm supposed to go. I kept on circling back and... What's this on the wall? Getting distracted by walls. Looks like I should be... You gotta keep your eye peeled for those little ladders and those grappling spots. Some of those are hidden pretty well. And this place looks so cool. This is probably what World of Warcraft should look like. If they ever updated it. Yeah, look, how do I get up there? That's not where I was it? Am I just losing my marbles completely? We haven't been to the actual casino yet, right? Or were we there and that's what... Is there a casino or not? Oh, so I guess that's what we were doing. Wait, so you can't go in the casino? It's just a little interaction at the door? Huh. I guess so. Yeah, I don't know what's... I haven't really looked at all at the development history of this game. I don't know if they just ran out of money. If it's one of those cases where they planned some DLC. If they just had to get it out the door. Usually if it's one of those just got to get it out the door situations, though, there'd be a lot more bugs. I didn't really come across, unless you count the dodging things, that may or may not be user error. I didn't have any crashes to the desktop or anything, so it makes me think that maybe they just didn't get to fill everything out, or maybe they just got bored. I don't know. Oh, I didn't mean to go to camp. But every now and then I would come across an area or something, and I would be thinking, you know, I feel like there should be more here. That looks like I should be able to go over there. Instead, I can't. So you never know what's going on in those situations. There's the Eiffel Tower. We have waffle towers. That didn't make any. What the hell am I saying? I'm delusional. Is there anything else you wanted to see? I'm kind of tempted to go back and try to fight that thing one more time. Where was he? I think he's there, right? Ah, what the hell. I think that's a pretty good stop point, because, again, this game, I don't think you should just watch somebody play it. It's more fun to figure out stuff on your own. Try to resist looking at walkthroughs and stuff, too, because really and truly, even the stuff that, like this thing that kicked my butt, I don't have to fight it. You know, it's just optional content, basically. And usually there's ways to get through a battle, even if it's not the most glamorous way. You know, if you keep resurrecting. And you know, eventually you'll get past it. It's really only tough if you are like me and you just take it as a personal challenge. Like, no, I will defeat that thing. It's gonna keep me up at night. Some people just don't care, you know. They're like, oh, it's too hard. I'll just skip it. No problem. Me? I am not like that. What's this down here? Oh, I guess we'll find out. Oh, it's another chromatic jar. Well, let's see if we can do a little better this time. Well, I'm gonna open up. Yeah, I'm just gonna open up with pyrolyze. Oh, he's weak to fire. So he's not dead. He's not dead yet. But you see that break bar is all the way filled. Oh, I don't quite have enough points to break him. Ah, what to do? What to do? Yeah, go ahead. I'll throw a shell up. I don't know if I'll be able to get him dead in one round. Okay, let me show you the proper shield. So you see that Bouchelier is fortified there? Heavy mask. So this guy's got this little wheel that turns. I think you have to cast a skill to move the wheel. And each of these things will have corresponding skills. You can cast any skill anytime if you have the action points, but they get bonuses, as you can see, if it's on the proper spot on the wheel. So what does that say? Yeah, heavy mask also applies when shield. So I put the shield up, and now everybody's hit points bar is gray. The cool thing about that is no matter what he hits me with, it'll just take the shield away and I'll be fine. Unless he's got like 5 or 6 attacks, and then I'll still take damage from those other ones. But at least I got one moment where I can breathe. Let's go ahead and break him. Okay, so he's broken now, so he can't do anything. And he's dead. So yeah, that was a little bit easier than that other chroma. So it got me 2 resplendent chroma catalysts. I don't think that's the top level one. I need the grandiose ones, I think, to get the ultimate deal. But I got 5 more luminas. That's powerful. And I got a new sword, new weapon, looks like. And only... each weapon can only be used by one person. Let's see who got it. So you don't get to choose like mace, axe. They all have the basically same. You're kind of stuck with whatever your category is. What did I get? Oh, this was a new weapon. So it'd be weird to get a better weapon at this point, but look at this. So if you're good at counterattacking or parrying, so remember, to counterattack you have to parry every single attack of that round, and then you get the really powerful counterattack. And there's ways to really build on that. So you can get like double, triple damage on it and you get all sorts of perks, but again, I just gave up on it. Apply 5 burn on the counterattack. So if you're good at that, you know, clearly you could just dominate. Or you do a lot better. Wait, I see a Lumina there. Get off. Yeah, look at that.
Useful.
Color of Lumina. So it's always worthwhile to get out, look around, you know, really survey. But where's that one that I was fighting before that was so tough? I mean, I even get turned around on the freaking... Looks like it's this way. I'm losing it. Where is he? Since I passed him. What is it? Oh, it's this. The fountain. Oh, well, just for... This would be a good spot to stop, I think. We'll get crushed in here. Sometimes the red doesn't necessarily mean you're going to die, but probably means we're going to get some boss that'll every hit one-shots a character.
Watch out. Is
You
it
have
looking
to-
for a fight?
You have to memorize the spots to dodge. A little bit of a spoiler there, I'm sorry. What will happen to the canvas? I expected nothing less. But a mistress afflicted me with a similar quality. Interesting. Yeah, it's really neat how the backstory ties in really nicely to all the stuff that you do and the characters and even the monsters. Okay. Blanche.
Claire.
Your sister
Whoa.
created the Nevrons.
Yes.
Gave me
Set
100
someone's on the
Lumina?
Islands.
Why did she make Nevron feet so pointy?
Just for coming
I
here?
can't polish them without poking myself. It's terribly inconvenient.
What was so dangerous
Yes.
about this?
Quite annoying.
Oh, I forgot about this. So you
Yes,
find these little logs too that give you
beautiful.
previous
My
expedition
favorite theory
stories.
is that she's some crazy demonic maths teacher, and this is our punishment for failing at numbers.
Here, I'll stop it so I don't spoil anything for you. But you can see how many I'm, done with the game, but I haven't got lots of gaps here to fill in. I don't even know who these people are. But the idea, I guess, I'll tell you a little bit about the story just so that makes sense. So you got all these, every year there's an expedition to come here and try to stop the big baddie from doing big bad things. And you're constantly coming across either bodies or relics or those little log entries from the previous expeditions. So they try to pass on clues, I guess, or help for the next expedition that comes along in case they fail. so that the next group will have some little bit of an edge. So I won't say anything more than that, but I thought that was just a really beautiful and creative way to set this up. You know, it makes you feel like you're part of something. That's probably the best way to describe that. It's, you know, it's just, again, the writing on this, the setup, really clever. Really good storytelling. Well, let's see. Where is that little pesky thing that was kicking our butts? That. That looks cool, whatever that is. Oh man, how did I lose that thing? Oh, this will be a good fight. Alright, let's fight this and call it a day. This is bound to be a good fight. Oh, look at that guy. I don't think he's alone either. Oops. What, I'm supposed to talk to it? There we go. Alright. Bouillon. Bouillon. Well, I'll start with the hell. It's always a good way to start. I probably should have applied that. Damn. I probably should have applied that 100 extra lumina, because that's going to make one of my characters super powerful. Let's see. I could throw out a wildfire, I guess. A little bit less powerful. The way this fire works is when it gets to its turn, it's going to take those damage points from fire right off the bat. It almost feels like cheating, doesn't it? To be this powerful. Cool. See, I'm pretty sure I shouldn't have been able to kill him that easily. But I don't care. They did enough damage to me. Oh, he's not even burning. Pop him a couple times. Oh, one bullet killed him. So what's the deal? I keep picking up these Bouillon skins. Yeah, Flesh of a Nevron. I don't... There's probably some place I'm supposed to go and turn those in. I just don't... I haven't bothered to look it up. Oh, I got another lost gestural. So that's just another little cool reason to explore the map, these gestuals that you find. You see how this game works? You know, I'm like, that's the last thing we're going to do, but then they keep popping stuff in. Like, oh, I got to show you that. Yeah, if you already have the Picto, I guess it gives you some additional chroma. Which sadly is kind of useless. I mean, I guess if you can find a vendor that doesn't have everything, or you haven't bought everything from, you could buy some stuff with that chroma, but... Okay, let me just show you that last thing. So, back in camp. Those little troll dolls... There's a bunch of them lost, and there's a guy trying to collect them and rescue them. And you get him in your camp eventually, and then you can bring him those lost gestrals that you find. It gives you pretty awesome stuff. See if I can find these in here. Sometimes it's just a new costume, but sometimes it gives you things like new abilities. You can... I think one of them was, I don't know if you remember that little blue viney looking thing that I was able to break through. The way I got that power was by these, turning in these gestrals. I can find the bloody guy. Let's see, where is he? Man, how sad is it to even get lost in camp? Like I say, I will never ever take that mini-map for granted. It's really tough in this game too, because a lot of the levels they're multi-leveled, so it's up and down and lots of twists and turns, and you're just like, what the hell am I? Oh boy. I'm glad I didn't have to do a lot of work for this, but if I wanted to, now I could slap on a gestural outfit. Why you'd want to look like this, I don't know, but okay. Well, let's wrap it on up. I'll give you my thoughts on the game. So I think it's a really awesome game. I really felt like I got my money's worth. I haven't even explored everything, so you can tell they really packed this thing full of good content. The dungeons are fun. It's lots of interesting stuff you can do with mechanics in this game, working with the pictos and the weapons and the stats. There's a lot of little extra stuff to do, like I just picked up that skin, so I'm already thinking, what am I looking at here? Yeah, I'm like, there's got to be something I could do with this skin, so I'm tempted to I'd probably look at a wiki or something. There's probably somebody I take those to, and then I get some more items. It's probably the same for all these little items that you find. And lots of nice touches too, like the records that you find. You know, it's not anything too special, but you can kind of get into this mindset of, I really want to get all the records. The music is so good too. It's kind of neat to be able just to play it on demand. About the only negatives, you know, is it really a negative? But like the wardrobes, you know, most games you play, they would be more than just, you know, cosmetics. So really, the only items that you get that help you are the pictos. Why am I not able to move here? There we go. So you find the pictos, but I don't know if these are visually... I don't even know if these pictos... Let's just test one out to see. Does that even look different? Yeah, I don't know if that visually makes any difference, actually. Oh boy, what did she have before? Energizing gradient. Yeah, that ain't that good. No. Which one did she have before? Faster than strong. No. Healing stun. Yeah, like this one's too situational. Recover 5% health on hitting a stun target. Really? Only 5%? I mean, maybe if it was 100%, that might make sense, but... Yeah, base attack can break. That's a good one. Shortcut. You know, I thought about this one. So if something brings you 30% below, you get to play immediately. Might be worth it. I forget what I had on her before, though. I need like an undo. It probably was augmented counter. That definitely wasn't it. Healing fire, greater powerful. It probably was one of these energizing ones. Energizing start. Energizing break. Energizing start. Like I say, it's usually the best thing to do is pick one that's going to take a lot of luminous to activate. Attack life, effective heal is 30. So you can do like energizing start there is 20. So instead of spending 20 lumina, I could just use the Picto version. And voila. Okay, let me see. What was I saying? Nitpicks. Yeah, so is this sufficient? I mean, would it be better if some of the outfits or haircuts, or maybe there was a, I don't know, like most games you'd have capes and a breastplate, leggings, just something that you could put on and find. So give you more stuff you could search for and put on your characters. But, I don't know. I've been kind of going back and forth about whether this is better just to keep it cosmetic only. So I guess the advantage of this system is it keeps you really focused on the weapons and the pictos. Now, the pictos are kind of the unique thing to this game, and the luminas. So it makes sense to me that they would really want to focus on that. And one way to emphasize it is to not have the other stuff. So you've really got no choice but to deal with the pictos and luminas. So I guess that makes sense. And it just basically does the same thing. So you like a healing share, receive 15% of all heals affecting other characters. Gives you 467 health buff, 14 critical rate, plus you can find upgraded versions of it. From a design point of view, the advantage is, I suppose, you don't have to visually represent this, just a little symbol there. You probably cook that up in a couple of minutes, and then you've got to, think about how easy and cheap that would be compared to making, say, bracers or another chest piece or boots or whatever, where you have to have the modeler come in and draw it, and then an icon here to go with it. So yeah, it's more economical, I suppose, to do it this way, and functionally it's pretty similar. I mean, if this same thing was a pair of boots, would it make that big a difference? Yeah. Because then you could have all, I don't know about you, but to me, half the fun of finding a new item is that it makes you look different. Vain, I guess, but I guess they'd probably argue, well, that's what the wardrobe is. Okay, I guess. And then the weapons. Okay, I suppose this works, Just because it's different, does that make it better or worse? Most games you find longsword +5. Or maybe the epic weapons will have some special abilities on it. And so I suppose that works. And, I've seen that leveling up of weapons in other games, but this is okay. One thing I was never able to really experiment with is, some of these weapons don't have any special abilities. And I don't know if you can if you level that up enough times, does it gain some, or is it just doesn't have it? Maybe this one has more power on it to compensate, or better attribute buffs. I'm not sure what the deal is with that. But really, my only serious nitpick with the game is that dodge and freaking counter mechanic. I hope at some point they'll fix that, quote unquote. I guess some people don't consider it broken, so screw those people. But for people like us, or me anyway, it would sure be nice if there was one of those little quick time counter things that would pop up and just give you some kind of clue as to when to dodge, at least. I mean, if they want to make the parry only for super uber elite players, that's fine. But the dodge ought to be easier, at least in my opinion. But again, they would just say, well, most of that content is optional anyway. You want to have some content just for the players who are willing to sit there and reload a battle over and over again until they completely memorize every single attack. And they say most of the battles are easy, Matt. You demonstrated that. So I don't know. I just say from my point of view, it was a lot more irritating than it was fun. Yes, it was satisfying when you finally got through one of those fights and you mastered exactly when to dodge and counter. But maybe one or two fights like that would have been okay. But to have every battle amount to trying to just guess or use whatever mystery signal you're supposed to see or intuit somehow to dodge and parry, that just wasn't fun for me. Thankfully, you don't find too many situations where you just one-shotted if you don't dodge at the right time. Plus, there's lots of ways to heal and protect and shield yourself. So you do okay even if you suck at it. But it's just one of those things that just kind of constantly bothered me. I'd go back and I feel bad about my own skills. I'm like, why do I suck so bad? Is it just me? Am I just this terrible of a gamer? It's like you start to question yourself, and that's not really very fun or satisfying, So again, I think the key to that, somebody was telling me that there's a picto you can find that makes it easier to dodge or something. I never found that. So maybe I'm just complaining about something that's actually not such a big deal. But it almost got to the point where that was a deal breaker for me. Several times I was just about ready just to quit the game because it was so. I was bothering my wife by just yelling profanity after profanity down here. It's like, why are you subjecting yourself? It sounds like you're torturing yourself with this game. So yeah, is there a reason why they can't pop up a little thing to show you, okay, dodge? I don't know. Let's see, do they say anything here? Dodge at the right time to avoid damage. Yeah, good. The whole problem is, when is the right time? Some of the monsters will come at you like this, right? And they're like rearing back. And you got to wait until right in there. Like, right before it connects. It's just really hard for me. But other than that, it's a really excellent game. You should definitely try it. You might put it on easy mode. That might help. Or you might do like I do and just not get... Maybe you're able to compartmentalize and just say, yes, I know I'm never going to be good at dodging and countering, but it's okay because I can just avoid those bosses or avoid those areas, and I can always heal myself and shield. There's all these workarounds to it. Or I'm just going to accept that I have to reload a battle many, many times until I really learn that monster. And because that's a useful way to spend my time. Okay. But again, one little nitpick, but everything else is really, really good. So I highly recommend this. You can pick it up, obviously, on Steam. I don't know if it's on GOG. Clair Obscur Expedition 33. I'd love to get these guys on. If I could ever get them on the show. I guess they're having too much success with the game right now to even bother to acknowledge I exist, which kind of sucks. But that's just ego talking. But it would be nice to have them on to see what their philosophy is. Do they really think that they just screw you if you aren't good with the timing and reflexes? Or is there like some deeper design philosophy behind it? I like to hear it. But anyway, I'm going to stop it here. Hope you enjoyed it. Go pick it up. Have fun. Don't pick it up if that dodge thing is going to bother you as much as it did me, because you will annoy your neighbors. But let's stop it here. And that's all for this week's episode. Hope you guys enjoyed and rated that. Yes, I got a little surprise coming up here for you in a second. But look, guys and gals, please accept my gratitude for supporting this show. We're kind of in a pickle, folks. It's sad to say, but some folks just aren't doing that well financially. Some people that have been very generously supporting the show have had to withdraw, reduce for probably temporary, I hope. But it's kind of left a big gap in our finances. So yeah, if you're doing okay financially, if you're comfortable, don't put yourself in financial straits for Matt and I. But if you're doing okay, please head over to that link in the show notes to the Patreon page. Take a few minutes, set up your Matt Chat Ratron account, even $1 or $2, or if you're already subscribing at $1, let's say you are okay bumping it up to $5. This would be a perfect time to do that. Let me tell you, we are kind of in a pickle, like I say. So, yeah, don't let it go sour on us. Go take a few minutes, set that up, become a member, maybe upgrade your membership if you're okay with that, because we really need your help. I mean, it's getting bad. But if you're willing to do that, or if you have already, please, thank you. I don't think that came out right. Please support the show, and thank you. There we go. Your support really means a lot, and we're really grateful for it. So that's my sincere thanks for that. All right, what about that news from the Matt Cave? Man, I cannot. I'm like eating my hair here. What? Like my new shirt. A Ravenloft. Some of you probably played that. What's Ravenloft? So you never have to worry about somebody, a Matt chatter, saying, what's Ravenloft? So that's why you should support the show, support this community, hang out with cool people. Come on, you're cool. Let's see. Romero, not doing so cool. Romero Games, anyway. So Microsoft unexpectedly pulled the plug on their mysterious AAA first-person shooter game. We don't know a lot about this game. They're keeping hush-hush. It's probably not Daikatana 2, but you never know. Anyway, they were rumored to be shutting down, but the studio said that's fake news. They're not closed. They're still operating from their Galway headquarters and seeking new publishing partners. So let's see. Do we know anything about this new game? Apparently it's built with Unreal Engine 5 and led, of course, by John Romero himself. With multiple publishers now reportedly interested, there's still hope the project will rise from the ashes. You know, I didn't say here, but isn't Brenda also working on this? You know, I think they're partnered up on it, right? I hope so. You know, that'd be pretty cool. You know, almost kind of would like to see something more in the vein of Wizardry 8. Than another kind of Doom-like game. But, you know, maybe they'll come up with something cool. You know, one thing about John Romero that always impressed me was he was never satisfied to just do what's been done already. He always wants to do something novel, something innovative, something better and bigger and badder than what's already out there. So be real curious to see what they come up with. You know, I don't have any more information about the behind-the-scenes shenanigans, but if you do, maybe have some rumors, share those on the YouTube comments. All right, then Miko writes in about a couple items. First up, new on Steam, the Necromancer's Tale. Embrace the dark arts, this richly atmospheric RPG set in 18th century Europe. As a young noble with a secret fascination for necromancy, got kind of Lovecraftian vibes here, you'll navigate salons, social intrigue, and the shadowy boundaries between life and death. With a sharp literary tone and emphasis on choice and consequence, The Necromancer's Tale offers a slow burn, cerebral journey into ambition, guilt, and forbidden knowledge. You know, I used to have some forbidden knowledge hidden under my bed and between the mattresses, but we don't need to go into that. The Necromancer's Tale. All right, and then lastly, also from Miko, he writes in about a Kickstarter project that has been successful, inordinately so. It's called Prelude Dark Pain. It's a dark fantasy tactical RPG from Spain. It's Quick Fire Games. It's already raised over 54,000 euros, surpassing its 40-euro goal in just 12 hours. Wow. With 900 plus backers cheering it on. It said, in the shattered realms of Stateria, you play as Soren, a blacksmith turned revolutionary, leading a squad of 5 heroes from a diverse roster of 20 across 8 classes. Combat unfolds on isometric grids and team-based, turn-based battles. Oh, there we go. Where positioning, flanking, and strategic combos matter more than ever. 25 skills per character, 2 talent branches. Every encounter rewards thoughtful planning. Manage your settlement, craft gear, launch side quests. Wow. This all sounds pretty good, does it not? Stunning art style inspired by Mike Mignola and a score from Kumi Tanioka, with multiple stretch goals aiming to add modes, maps, and blah, blah, blah. So I think that Kickstarter's all done, and early access is targeted for spring 2026. So thank you very much, Miko. Now, what about that Ale of the Week? Now, I'm only doing this because I want some new members. So if some of you guys will increase your pledge levels or maybe sign up if you haven't already a Ratron, I'll keep going with these L segments. But otherwise, this is the only one. This will be the final attempt. So it's up to you. If you want L segments, go to that link. If you're at $1, bump it up to $2. If you haven't signed up before, sign up. Because otherwise, this will be the final Ale segment. We don't want that to happen. The bard's throat tends to get dry. Anyway, what do I have here? I was looking for something from France, but this is about as good as I was able to do. It's a Belgian. It's a framboise, not sure how to pronounce it. Framboise probably. Framboise, Lindemann's Raspberry Lambic Beer. So I don't even know if this is technically considered a beer. It says it's a malt beverage on the bottom. I've never been quite clear what the difference is there. I don't think it really matters. So wild yeast fermentations, what's interesting about these. Rich, sweet raspberry flavor and character on this. So let's see, I think they tell you what that means. Lambic made with local barley, unmalted wheat, raspberry juice, aged hops, and wild airborne yeast. It's called spontaneous fermentation. Spontaneously fermented. Isn't there like spontaneous combustion or something like that? Am I making that up? You know where you just like burn up suddenly? Nobody knows what happened. True lambics are rare. They are all brewed and fermented at one of fewer than a dozen breweries, all located in Belgium's Seine River Valley, near Brussels, a region only about 15 by 75 miles in size, where they eat a lot of Brussels sprouts. I'm just making that up, but I assume that's true, because it should be. Family owned since 1822. I think that's about all the information we're going to get from this. So I think they put a little juice in there, right? A little raspberry juice. Let's see if I can get it open. Now, I hope some of you guys will contribute so we can keep on bringing back these L segments. That's half the fun, right? A lot of you guys have been saying, you know, when are you going to do another L segment? Where in the hell is the L segment? Matt, I love you, but where is the L segment? I mean, you're almost as mad about that as I was about not being able to dodge in that game. Clair Obscur! Yeah. You know, I almost destroyed my gamepad. I probably could have used a couple of these, really. You know, my problem is that I get a little too antsy. You know, so I'm always too quick. A premature... trying to think of a word that sounds kind of like another word that might make a fun joke, but not coming up with one. There we go. Because I'm busy trying to open a bottle. I find the older I get, the less I can focus on multiple things at one time. All right, let's pour a little bit of this here in this little glass so we can see it. And then I will pour it into the proper receptacle. So I've never had this. You know, I've never been a fan of real fruit, like adding fruit juice and things to beers. You know, I just kind of I like the just taste of beer. But you gotta live a little, right? You gotta experiment. You never know. This might be delightful. Oh my God. Oh, smell that smell. Smell. God. Ooh, it's good. Smell. I don't need to drink it. I'm just going to sit here and sniff it. My God, this smells good. Yeah, you smell like a little bit of a raspberry, but just really that lovely sort of golden Belgian hops, whatever they use for these. Man, it just smells so good. No, seriously, you should buy one of these just to smell it. I'm telling you. Excellent. Excellent smell. You know, if it tastes even a quarter as good as it smells, we are in for a treat. All right. Let's pour it in. You know, when you guys decide to up your pledge or join the team, make sure that you put in the comments somewhere that you're doing it because you want more L segments. You demand it. And you put your money where your mouth is. Okay. All right. It's been a while since I've done this. I might have to prepare myself. Make sure we got no hair in the microphone. You bald guys just don't know how lucky you got it. Okay. Oh, wow. That is fruity. A little bit of a tart. A lot more tart than I would have thought. You think it's almost like a tart cherry more than a raspberry, but yeah, really fruity taste on that. I guess not surprising. Kind of like if you imagine maybe some real tart cherry juice followed by with a little champagne mixed in. You know, I think it's a pretty good description here. I'll try another swig here. Yeah, it's really good. I don't really taste any alcohol. It's really kind of a fruity, yeah, I keep coming back to this idea of the kind of a fruity champagne-like flavor to this. No alcohol fumes coming off of this. Not really hoppy at all, not bitter, just really super sweet. You know, you'd almost think you're drinking like a cherry 7-Up, you know, with a lot more of a fruity punch, but you know, somewhere in that ballpark of sweetness. Yeah, you'd be a real hit with this at a party, I think. This is one of those, every now and then I'll come across one and I'll say, even if you don't like beer, you hate the taste of beer, you might actually want to try this, because it's definitely unlike, it's about as far away from a Budweiser or an IPA as you're going to get. You know, this is, again, it's kind of like a cherry 7-Up, cherry Coke, maybe not quite as sweet as that, with a definite raspberry twinge. The smell is a little bit, you know, you wouldn't assume it would taste like that from the smell. There's a little bit of a disconnect there. But really good flavor. I don't know if I'd want to drink these every day. You know, it's kind of a definite a distinctive character on this. But yeah, if you like raspberry, hey, there you go. Good. You know, go ahead and try some out of this glass too. Yeah, I think this would be an excellent starter if somebody's just getting into beers and maybe they don't like that sort of a taste that you get sometimes, that sort of, I call it like a cornflakes taste. When you're first starting beer, you might not like that. Maybe you could ease into it, but with these lambics, you kind of develop a taste that way. It could be interesting. Or if you just really hate the taste of most beers and you want something fancy to drink, there you go. I don't know how to rate this. Honestly, because it's so different than any other kind of beer I've tried. That raspberry flavor is kind of puts it in kind of a category of its own. But just in terms of drinkability, definitely. You know, you'd have a again, I don't know if I wouldn't want to limit myself to this, but if you're looking for something different, something interesting, especially if you have maybe a party and you're not sure what people are going to like, maybe they don't go for something real hoppy or bitter. I think this would probably be a crowd pleaser, this lambic. So, again, I have no basis for comparison with other lambics. I'll just say, me personally, I'd give this somewhere between a 3 and a 4 out of 5. Just overall, you know, in terms of my own personal preference. I love the smell of it, and it's just kind of cool to try new things, you know. So, yeah, I think about a 3, 4, maybe let's just go 4 out of 5 on that. I think you'd be happy with it. Unless you just really hate raspberry. You'd probably be okay. Okay, let's wrap it up with a quotation. And of course, I was looking for quotes from famous French authors, and there's one named Voltaire, who I read him in college, a book called Candide. But that novel ends with the following quotation. I'm not going to try the French. We must cultivate our garden. That's the quote. So that kind of builds up. If you read the book, it's all about these different philosophies and the pursuit of truth and sort of philosophical enlightenment and what have you. And then at the end, it just comes down to, you know, we should just tend to our own garden, mind our own affairs, try to be productive, useful citizens. And that's the end of this massive novel called Candide, which is a lot of fun, by the way. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that, and I'll see you guys next week.
think that I am familiar with the fact that you are going to ignore this particular problem until it swims up and bites you on the ass.